Today what I'm going to discussing about differentiation, right? So differentiation by first principles, right? Couple of people, they don't understand the topic, right? Because they can differentiate but they don't know what is the first principle, right? Let me explain to you quickly, right? So differentiation means it's a gradient, right? Finding a gradient, right? What is gradient? So in GCSE, you studied gradient means, so gradient means a slope of a line, right? So tan theta, right? So difference of y, right? Difference of y coordinate divide by difference of x coordinate, right? I hope you understand that basic, right? So difference of y coordinates divide by the difference of x coordinates. So the first letter D and the last letter Y, dy over dx. So dy over dx, which gives an idea of the gradient, right? If I want to find out the gradient at the at the A, there's a curve, purple color curve is going on there, right? So you need to find out the gradient of the curve at the point of A, right? But you can't do that without one point. You need another point, right? I'm selecting the another point B in the purple color curve, h distance, right? H distance, that B color point, right? But if I use these 2 points A and B and finding the gradient, that is going to be the gradient of the green line, not the curve. I'll explain to you again. If I find the gradient of A point and B point, that is going to be the gradient of the line, the green color line. But that is mathematically wrong, right? So because I'm finding the gradient of the purple color curve at the point of A, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to be still going to be do the gradient of AB, which is the green line. We are assuming that the point B is going to be come towards to the A, which may be coming closer to A. That means H becomes 0. Then at the point B very close to A, the gradient of the green line is going to be gradient of the curve. That is the theory, right? So you need to understand that basic concept, right? So here I written that notes. When B approach to A, H becomes very small, minimal. So that means H becomes 0, right? And therefore, the gradient of the AB equals to the gradient at A, right? So gradient of AB, which is the green line, is going to be equal to A. What are the assumptions? We assume H is going to be a small number, which is a 0, right? Now, how to do this one? You need to understand the theory. A is a point x comma fx. Because x is the coordinate, the y coordinate is going to be the fx. Now, the second point B is h apart from the x, the A, right? So the coordinate of the x coordinate of the B is going to be x plus h, because I'm taking an incremental value of h, right? So the second coordinate B, x coordinate is x plus h and f of x plus h, right? So difference between the y coordinate mean f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x coordinate is x plus h, take away x, right? So this x and minus x cancel. So the equation becomes f dash x equal to f of x plus h minus fx divided by h, right? So that is the answer for the f dash x. So you may need to understand what is f dash x. F dash x is the derivative notation. So fx is the function, f dash x is the derivative, means differentiated format, f dash x. So the function is only true limitation h goes to 0. I will show you a question, then you know understand how to do this question, right? So in your pure maths first paper, this may come on a kind of a theory part, 3 to 4 marks, right? derivative, find the derivative from the first principle. That's how they start the question, right? So I will show you how to do this question. So first of all, fx is given as x squared. Find the f dash x, right? Find the f dash x from the first principle, right? So how to do this one is, first of all, you need to remember the formula. F dash x equal f of x plus h minus f of x over h, right? The condition is remain same, limitation h goes to 0, right? Now what we are going to do is we need two coordinates. So a coordinate is going to be, so x and fx, right? And the b coordinate is going to be x plus h and f of x plus h. So this is the 2 points we studied in the theory. So we are going to put x plus h in the fx equation, right? So that is going to be x plus h whole thing squared minus f of x, which is the x squared, divide by x plus h minus x, h is the denominator, limitation h goes to 0, right? So now you're going to expand that one. So x squared, you know how to expand this one, 2xh plus h squared minus x squared over h. So x squared and minus x squared cancelled, right? Now I'm going to factorize h out. So I'm going to end up with 2x plus h over h. Now this h and h cancelled. Now still you need to write this limitation. That is very important because the condition is only true when h approach to 0. So this is going to be limitation h goes to 0, right? So now I got the answer, limitation h goes to 0. The answer becomes 2x plus h, right? So 2x plus h means h goes to 0. So this part is becomes 0, right? And the answer becomes 2x, right? In some past papers, they will give the proof f dash x is 2x, right? They will ask you to prove f dash x is 2x. You got to prove that one, right? So remember the formula, f dash x equal this, and substitute the value and do some little bit of algebra. Maybe you need to expand the brackets, and then you need to do the h and h cancel. Then the answer may be 2x, right? Right, fx equal x cube. Find the f inverse x, right, from the first principle, right? Let me give you an answer. So f inverse x, the answer is going to be 3x squared. You need to prove at the end, you need to get this 3x squared as the answer, right? So 3x squared is going to be the answer. Let me write it in the neat place here. So f inverse of x is going to be 3x squared. So you need to start from the basic, understand what is first principle. And are you not able to see my first name, Jalaj? So all right, okay, good. So I'll call you as Jalaj. So we will do another example. Fx is x cube, and we need to find out the f inverse of x, right? So how to do this one? So first point is going to be, so I need 2 points, right? So the first point is going to be x and x cube, right? And the second point is going to be x plus h and x plus h cube, the whole thing cube. So these are the 2 points I need, right? Now I need to write the equation of the first derivative. First derivative, f inverse x means, right, f of x plus h minus f of x over h, limit h goes to 0, right? So now substitute. So this is going to be x plus h whole thing cube minus x cube. So difference between the y coordinate divide by difference between the x coordinate. Difference between the x coordinate means x cancel. So you end up with h. So that is going to be limitation h goes to 0, right? Now you need to know how to expand the x plus h cube, right? So there is a topic called binomial expansion, right? So we will do some topic revision on that also. So I will expand this one quickly. So x cube, right? And you will end up with 3x squared h plus 3x h squared plus h cube, right? Minus x cube over h, and the limitation h goes to 0, right? And now x cube and x cube cancel. Same as what I did before, I'm going to be factorize the h out. So that's going to be 3x squared, right? 3x squared plus 3x h plus h squared and over h. Now h and h cancel. So the limitation h goes to 0, right? And now I end up with limitation 3x squared plus 3xh plus h squared and h goes to 0, right? Now if I substitute h equals 0, this becomes 0 and this becomes 0, right? So the answer is 3x squared. So that is the final answer for this question number 2. I hope you understand the expansion. You need to understand how to expand. Let me explain to you. This is the general form of the binomial. If you expand a plus b whole thing cube, right? So you will end up with a cube plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cube. You may need this algebra knowledge to expand that x plus h, then minus x cube. Then you do a simple cancellation, factorize the h, cancel the h with the bottom h, then you substitute the h, they end up with 3x squared, right? Yes, you can use the binomial expansion, right? Caleb asking, I thought that was the f dash x formula, not the f, not inverse, sorry, not inverse f dash x. Yeah, correct. So this is not inverse f dash x derivative, right? You are right. Yeah, so f dash x, not the inverse. Maybe like mixed up with the previous session I did it for GCSE is the function. So inverse function is f dash x is the derivative. So fx equal to x cube. What is f dash x? I will write the answer. You need to get f dash x equal to 6x. You need to get 6x. So 6x squared is the answer, right? But I want the method how you are going to do this question, right? Let me explain to you guys, right? So let me change a different color, so that will be so the question will be black color. So now I'm going to try to do this one. So first of all, let's start with the equation. So you need to remember derivative equation f dash x equal f of x plus h minus f of x over h and limitation h goes to 0. So that is the answer for the derivative equation. You got to remember this one, right? Next one, you need 2 points. The first point, careful. The first point is x and 2x cube is the first point. And the second point, B, I'm going to select a point x plus h, comma, 2x plus h cube. This is very important. If you don't understand this one, that's it. You can't continue this one. So you need to take a increment of h value inside. Replace the x with x plus h. So 2x plus h cube. Right? Now you're going to be doing the f dash x equal, right? F of x plus h is 2x plus h cube minus 2x cube over h, limitation goes to h goes to 0. I hope you understand this far, right? Now little bit of algebra. I'm going to expand this bracket. I keep the 2 outside. X cube plus 3x squared h plus 3x h squared plus h cube, bracket close, minus 2x cube over h, and the limitation is goes to h goes to 0, right? And now I'm going to be multiply by that 2, so I will end up with 2x cube plus 6x squared h plus 6x h squared plus 2h cube minus 2x cube, right? So over h, and the limitation goes to h goes to 0, right? And the 2x cube cancel, right? And I'm going to factorize the h out. So if I factorize the h out, 6x squared plus 6xh plus 2h squared over h, and the limitation h goes to 0. H and h cancel, and limitation h goes to 0. 6x squared plus 6xh plus 2h squared, right? Now if you substitute h equals 0, this 6xh becomes 0, 2h squared becomes 0 as well. So the answer is going to be end up with 6x squared, right? And this is the answer, 6x squared, for the question number 3. This time, can you please, this is going to be a couple of past papers have this trigonometry derivative. You can use sin h over h. Let's read the question. Fx equals sin x. Prove, not again, I'm just making the notations wrong. So fx is given as a sin x, and they're asking f dash x. So what is f dash x, right? So f dash x is the derivative. So f dash x is cos x using the first principle. You may assume the formula sin a plus b, and that as sin h over h is 1, cos h minus 1 over h goes to 0. So these two formulas, you can take it as given in the question. So how to do this question? Okay, let me start this one, because most of you, I think like you already studied the trigonometry. So let me help you out, right? First of all, what is the first principle? First principle derivative is f dash x equal f of x plus h minus f of x over h, right? Now fx is sine x. Now you need to understand what is fx plus h. F of x plus h is sine of x plus h. I hope you understand that, right? Now, now I change the color. You need to understand a formula on a trigonometry. This may be in the formula book, so you don't need to remember. If you already remember, you can apply, but you need to know this one. Sine addition formula we call sine a plus b. So sine a plus b, what is the formula for sine a plus b? Sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. You need to apply this trigonometry addition formula in this question, right? Let me help you to do these questions. I'm going to change it to back to blue color, right? So get back to the f dash x. So f dash x equal, right? F of x plus h means sine of x plus h minus sine x over h, and the limitation h goes to 0, right? And now sine x plus h is sine a plus b expansion. You can expand that one very nicely. Sine x cos h plus cos x sine h. So that is the addition formula expansion minus sine x, right, over h. Then the limitation goes to h goes to 0. Now I'm going to do small factorization. Here sine x, I'm going to factorize sine x here. If I take the sine x out, here sine x here, cos h, here sine x is at the end, minus 1, and plus cos x sine h. Right, now the denominator h I'm going to split into two parts. So h I'm going to write here and the h I'm going to write here, right? So the limitation h goes to 0 here and the limitation h goes to 0 here as well, right? Now we already know there's a information given in the question. Cos h minus 1 over h becomes 0. So this becomes 0. So 0 times sine x becomes 0. Plus then sine h over h equal 1. So this part sine h over h becomes 1. 1 times cos x is cos x. So the final answer for the question is cos x plus 0 is cos x. So basically derivative fx equals sine x, f dash x equal cos x. That is the answer for the f dash x, right? Now, did you get this one? So how did you get the sine and cos formula? All right, okay. So Jalaj, that's a formula book. So in your exam, you have been given a formula book. In that one, you need to remember this red color formula is written there. So it's there. It's the addition formula. You will study that in the trigonometry. Right, we will go through that one. So in my topic revision today, I'm doing the differentiation. When I'm doing the trigonometry, I will recall that addition formula and we will prove that one. And I'm going to do one more question. Right. So again, I just made a mistake on the notation. So I take the minus off. So find the f dash x. So fx equal kx squared is given fx equal kx squared, prove f dash x equal 2kx from the first principle. So they ask you to prove f dash x equal 2kx. So can you try this one? Right, let me help you by doing the question on my own here. So if you want to have a look of the screen, please feel free to do that. So f dash x is f of x plus h minus f of x equal h. Limitation h goes to 0, right? So now here, this is the problem. So fx is defined as kx squared, right? F of x plus h is kx plus h whole thing squared, right? This is the thing you need to understand, how to write these two format, right? Fx is given, f x is increased by a small value h, mean x plus h, that x is increased by x plus h whole thing squared, right? So once you understand this, substitute into the formula, right? So k x plus h whole thing squared minus kx squared over h, limit goes to h goes to 0. Now I'm going to be expand, keeping the k outside the bracket, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus kx squared over h, limitation h goes to 0. Right, now I'm going to be multiplying k times x squared, kx squared plus 2kxh, right, and plus kh squared minus kx squared over h, right? Now the kx squared cancelled, right? So if you factorize the h out, 2kx plus kh over h. Now the h and h cancel. So I have to write the limitation. Make sure that when you write for each and every step, because this information is true, only the h becomes the small value. So limitation h goes to 0. Now if you see the equation, 2kx and kh, right? So limitation h goes to 0 and 2kx plus kh, right? And kh going to be 0 because h goes to 0, kh goes to 0. So the answer is going to be 2kx. That's what they ask you to prove, right? So 2kx is the answer. You can see that they ask you to prove 2kx, right?